playing out like more. They're forecasting for 2 to 3 years growth instead of a short-term valuation right now. If we look at the short-term valuation, to be honest, even though we are holding those sectors or those thematic growth stocks, the thing is, we believe the valuation is a bit too rich. Seems like if we look at, like for example, if we compare with those CSI 300 index, actually the valuation is far expensive than the average value. So what we are believing is maybe in the coming quarter, let's say the first quarter of 2021, seems like there may be a higher chance to have a correction at the beginning of the year, and after the corrections, then we believe like those other fund managers, they will be more pick up those high quality stock instead of the whole sectors have a strong rally. Also, what we are thinking, maybe there will be a trigger point. For example, now, as you mentioned, the COVID-19 is still seems like creating some concern in the last 2 days, and maybe this could be a trigger point for a short-term high valuation. And also, if we look at the China economy, actually the economy data shows that the Chinese domestic economy is leading the other countries. So if we are thinking this way, maybe we should expect the monetary policy may be going to be tightening in the first quarter or the second quarter. If that will be happen, and those high growth stocks like those sector we love, may have a correction, because usually when the interest rate increase or there's a rate hike, then those high growth stock may underperform in a short term wise. So this is what we're expecting. But even though we're expecting, we still allocate those money into those mega trend stock. The only thing is maybe usually we may have 70% into those stocks, but maybe right now we may be only a bit tuned down to maybe only 60% for a coming correction.
Right, Annie, can you take a closer look at how you assess some of these companies, for electric vehicle companies, for example? It's interesting, we've seen reports about how Apple is targeting car production by 2024 and next level battery technology. How do you factor in, for example, how companies are robustly building up their supply chains? Do you factor whether they're building their own batteries into the equation?
That's a very good question. Personally, or even our fund, we have a very high conviction on Tesla since a few years ago, and we are still positive in Tesla. And among the EV industry, Tesla is our most favorite stock, because it's not only an EV industry, and also, I mean, not only an EV company, but also an energy company, and also they have lots of other synergies among its different kind of business. For example, like the car insurance and the autonomous, and also they have a very high skill set engineers that could be very helpful in the long term. But other than Tesla, I would say that we among the Chinese market, we love NIO and also the BYD. But what we are expecting is in the last 2 quarters, those EV makers has very strong rally, and in coming year, what we are expecting is the investor will be more picky. They're not only waiting for the let's say that the rating upgraded, but also they will be more picky in terms of the supply chain. For example, they are not only looking at maybe this company making the auto doors for those cars, but we prefer those companies who is creating value added service. For example, like the software among the EV industries, or those battery pack with a high density or high efficiency level. This could be, I was saying that that will have a higher valuation for those suppliers instead of those normal suppliers like windows, doors, or wheels. This is different kind of level. Please remember that among the EV market, what we love is kind of like we need to think about is a smart car. It's more like a computer and energy car, and also we should think about more like autonomous. So yeah, this is quite important because if the autonomous could be happened, for those companies have data and have AI technology, they must have a higher value.
Andy, thank you so much for sharing your time with us. A lot to consider there. Andy Wong, LW Asset Management. And that will do it for today's edition of Asia Invested. Yeah, we'll be back tomorrow. See you then.
Have a good day. Bye-bye.
Look forward to brighter skies. The weather, sponsored by Qatar Airways. Sponsored by Qatar Airways.
Operation Snake. Sounds like when I had to neuter my cat.
Photographer Jaden Tan enters the loud and flashy world of the 60s.
If a beer bottle couldn't slip through your pants, it was too tight.
To find out what made Singapore, Singapore, then
People were beginning to create and imagine something different.
Into the Vault 2, Sunday on CNN.
Macet, an Indonesian word that describes Jakarta's notorious traffic congestion. The introduction of the MRT is a definite game changer, and hopefully Macet will be a thing of the past for Southeast Asia's biggest capital.
Satubari Smile, CNA, Jakarta.
The channel of the year is CNN from Singapore's Media Corp. We're tracking the top news stories across Asia. Hong Kong disqualifying 4 of the
Chinese markets leading the game.
We are losing patience.
That's why the protest is here.
I just got sprayed. My entire face is stinging right now.
One of the most diverse places on the planet.
Another big question remains:
Biggest loser on Hong Kong's Hang Seng.
size and urban park away.
Pummeling Micronesia, sideswiping Guam.
Headline news this hour. Urging calm, the World Health Organization has sought to play down the impact of a more infectious strain of COVID-19, saying there's no evidence to suggest it is more lethal.
Viruses mutate over time. That's natural and expected. The UK has reported that this new variant transmits more easily, but there is no evidence so far that it's more likely to cause severe disease or mortality.
British Prime Minister Boris Johnson seeks to reassure the public that he's working as fast as possible on the border closure with one of its top trading partners, France. Authorities there banned all transport from the UK, and with Christmas around the corner, at least one UK supermarket is warning of potential shortages in food supplies. And a warm welcome for a freezing antidote. Singapore, the first in Asia to receive the first batch of the Pfizer-BioNTech vaccine on an SIA cargo jet from Brussels, cementing the air hub's readiness in transporting and distributing COVID-19 vaccines internationally. And that's the latest from our CNA newsroom.